So now we're in the final part of this three-part series of how to build more consistency in your game. So the first video, we talked about defining what consistency is, how that's building a stock shot, which is starting the ball one way, curving it back towards the flag, and never over-curving the line. So the ball's always playing offense. The second part of the series, we talked about alignment and the importance of proper alignment and really the power of the eyes and how most players have a tendency to aim right. They perceive the target to be more left and consequently make compensations coming over the top and steep to get the ball to start where they think straight is. But their eyes are kind of playing tricks on them, and the target is actually much further right than what they perceive, and how players always seem to tend to aim right, and very, very rarely are their feet, let's say, square or open, which most pros err a little open with shut shoulders if they err, whereas the amateur errs with their feet shut and their shoulders open, kind of like this. So that was parts 1 and 2. So now, let's say you've gone to the range, you've done the zone game, that's what we call this, and you kind of struggled a little bit. Very common. So now let me give you a simple tip, a simple lesson of how you guys can start your process of building a stock shot. Now, this drill, when I started teaching, almost like single-handedly got me to be ranked one of the best young teachers in America by Golf Digest. It is like almost impossible to hit it bad with this drill. Well, I should say, it's almost impossible to not have your club be on plane with this drill. So let me kind of change that. Because what this drill is we call this the hand noodle. So what you're going to do is you're going to set up and you're going to put a shaft with a noodle on it, right? Just got this at like Walmart. You could use an alignment stick too and just kind of floss the noodle through it. But you're going to set up to where this noodle is kind of right here on your watch, right? Like right here on your forearm. Then I'm going to take a step in a straight line. So what this does is when you take the club back, you're going to feel like you just barely miss it. And then up to the top, what you would do is you would come over the top a little bit and hit the noodle. So what you're going to learn through this series is my whole goal is to coach myself out of a job. I want you to become your own coach so that you don't really have to rely on a swing instructor or whatever, because time, listen, I got 3 kids under 6. So if I can get a way to practice, I need to make sure that the 5 minutes that I have to hit balls, I'm doing everything that I can to get as good as I can as quickly as I can. So the days of like hitting ball after ball for hours on end is just a waste of time. You need to make sure that when you're practicing, you can actually feel what is real and what is proper. So kind of the analogy that I like to use that we'll probably go through a couple times in this series over all of the program is, I got a 4-year-old daughter, right? Her name is Rowan. So I can teach Rowan how to write the letter A 2 ways. I can either say, Rowan, I want you to write a capital A and I want you to write a 2-inch line that's at a 45-degree angle, another 2-inch line that's at a 45-degree angle, and then a 1-inch line connecting those two 45s. Is there any chance that she's going to do that? No. Or I can say, sweetheart, here's the letter A in a trace. Trace the A and don't color outside the lines. And she could probably do that, right? So we want to make it to where when you're practicing, you can trace the A and not color outside the line. So let's just say that when we do that, she goes, Daddy, man, tracing this A, this feels really weird. What would you say? You'd go, I don't know what to tell you, kid. That's how you write an A, right? So we want to make it to where the golf swing's the same way. So we want to set up like this, take a step in a straight line, and then if I were to hit, and I could swing underneath this noodle and hit the ball, you can see how that shaft comes 90 degrees to my spine, which is the fastest path. If I was going to take a club to a piñata and I was going to hit the club like this, right, you can see how that club comes 90 degrees to my spine. I would never hit a piñata like this, right? So, but most players hit piñatas like this, and then if I came down into posture, that's me coming over the top. We want to feel like that thing's coming 90 degrees to my spine. So if I was like this, and then I bent over, you can see how that club would come right down the plane, which is going to give me the greatest chance for the club to find the slot. I can start the ball right, curve it back, and not over-curve the line. So this kind of allows us to have a feedback station. So if I were to do that, let me give you one little tip, too, that goes hand in hand with this, because let me get a T here out of this. So if I was to set up and do this, right, and I put a tee down, most players, when they come down in the swing, right, if they were like this, most players, when they come down, they come steep, and because they come steep, they are forced to kind of early release it, like this, right? So, because if they were like this and they held the leg, they would hit down and like shatter their arm, and that wouldn't feel really good. So we need to kind of make sure that now that you'll be doing this and having a nice shallow angle of attack, and you'll be kind of swinging on plane, that we can match up the low point. So take the noodle, set it up, get in your posture, take a step in a straight line, and then put a tee about 2 inches in front. And what you're going to try to do is just try to miss the noodle and hit the tee. So that's going to move my low point a little bit more towards the target, right? So here we are. We'll try to see if we can hit our first stock shot of the day. So this one will go a little bit to the left, right? So that would be, it's okay. That's probably about 15 feet left of the target, but that would not be what the stock shot is. So that's kind of the one that's over curving the line. So we're just going to keep doing this, and now I can get a feeling of what that club is like coming down on plane. So there's a stock shot. So you can see how it kind of stays out to the right. See, I can play that one because if I had a pin that was a little bit to the left, that would just be in the middle of the green. And then if I hit this one, okay, so kind of moving back towards the flag. So you can see that it gives me the feeling of what it's like to swing that club on plane rather than coming over the top. So therefore, you can be your own coach and really make best use of your time when you can sneak out of the office or away from the house or whatever you need to do to go practice, right? So try this drill. It can revolutionize your game single-handedly, and we really look forward to you diving in deeper into our membership program where we really tackle this whole thing of building a stock shot and some short game secrets and the mental side and physical side. We're going to cover everything. So we look forward to walking beside you. Let us know your comments, thoughts, and questions, and we'll see you guys next time.